my beloved child. I am speaking directly to your heart in this very moment, and I need you to listen with an intensity you have never felt before. Stop what you are doing. Put down the distractions that have been cluttering your mind and quiet the noise of the world around you. This is not just another video appearing on your screen. This is a divine interruption, a sacred appointment that I have orchestrated specifically for you. I have seen you scrolling, searching for a sign, searching for a reason to keep going, and I have moved heaven and earth to bring you to this exact point in time. You feel your heart beating a little faster right now, don't you? You feel a warmth or a stirring in your spirit that tells you these words are not random. I am not speaking to the thousands of others who might glance at this. I am speaking to you, the one who feels invisible, the one who is carrying a burden that no one else can see. This is your final alert that the season of silence is over. Before I reveal the magnitude of the blessing that is already on its way to your doorstep, I want you to acknowledge my presence in your life. Do not let this moment pass by without anchoring your faith. I invite you to declare your presence before the throne of grace right now. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments below to open the gates of heaven and signal that your soul is awake and ready to receive what I have prepared. This simple act of typing is a physical manifestation of your spiritual readiness. It is you telling the universe and every spiritual force that you are no longer hiding, that you are standing in the light of my love, and that you are prepared for the miracle that is about to unfold. Do not stay silent when I am calling your name, for your voice is the key that unlocks the door to the next dimension of your destiny. I am calling you into a deeper union, not just for today, but for the entire journey that lies ahead. To ensure you never miss the whispers of my guidance and to stay connected to this flow of divine energy, I ask you to join this family of believers by pressing the subscribe button and giving this message a like. By doing so, you are not merely interacting with a platform, you are signaling your agreement with heaven and planting your feet firmly on the rock. This is how you build your house upon a foundation that cannot be shaken by the storms of life. Like this message, to seal your intent and subscribe to remain under the umbrella of my daily word. You are being built into something magnificent, and this community is the soil where your spirit will flourish. Trust me, my precious one, for what I am about to reveal in the coming moments will change the very fabric of your reality. I have seen the nights where sleep becomes an elusive stranger, and the clock ticks loudly against the backdrop of your racing thoughts. I was there at 3 a.m. when you sat on the edge of your bed, head in your hands, wondering if anyone truly knows the depth of the void you feel inside. I saw the silent tears that soaked into your pillow, the ones you wiped away quickly so no one would ask questions the next morning. I know the weight of the questions you whisper into the darkness, asking why it has to be this hard and why the breakthrough seems to happen for everyone but you. You are not invisible to me, my child. Every drop of sorrow that has fallen from your eyes has been caught in my bottle. I have counted every sigh and heard every unspoken plea that was too painful to form into words. You thought you were alone in that room, but I was sitting right beside you, holding your spirit together when you felt like you were breaking into 1,000 pieces. I have watched you stare at the ceiling for hours, replaying every past mistake and every what if until the sun begins to rise, leaving you more exhausted than when you first lay down. I know the feeling of the heavy chest and the lump in your throat that never seems to go away, and I am here to tell you that I have heard every vibration of your soul. There is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from fighting battles that no one else knows about. I have watched you put on a mask of strength for your family, your friends, and your colleagues while your inner world felt like it was crumbling. I saw you in the bathroom mirror looking at a version of yourself you no longer recognize, searching for the spark that used to be in your eyes. I saw you when you reached the end of your strength and whispered, "Lord, I can't do this anymore." It was in that moment of total surrender that my grace began to weave a safety net beneath you. You are not behind in life, and you are not being punished. Those 3 a.m. vigils were not in vain. They were the moments where your character was being forged in the quiet fire of endurance. I am not a distant king who watches from a throne. I am the Father who feels every pang of your heart, and I am telling you now that the night is ending. The season of weeping is being traded for a season of rejoicing. I am taking every tear you shed in secret and turning it into a seed of an overflowing harvest. I saw you when you were at your lowest, and I chose that very moment to begin your greatest transformation. Your pain has a purpose, and your suffering is being converted into a power that the world will not be able to ignore. Breathe in my peace right now, for the shadows are fleeing. I have watched the people you loved and trusted the most walk away when the ground beneath your feet began to shake. I saw the look in your eyes when the very ones who promised to stand by you forever became the ones who dealt the deepest wounds. I was there in the silence of that empty house after the divorce papers were signed, feeling the coldness of the space where laughter used to live. I was there in the office when you were told your services were no longer needed, despite the years of sweat and loyalty you had poured into that foundation. I have seen the betrayal of friends who whispered your name in shadows, turning their backs on you the moment you could no longer serve their interests. It felt like a knife in the soul, a sharp realization that the loyalty you give so freely is a currency others rarely repay. But I want you to know something profound, my beloved. I was not a distant observer of your heartbreak. I was the one holding you when you felt you were falling into an abyss. I was the quiet strength that kept you from shattering completely when those you relied on abandoned you in your hour of greatest need. Every person who left your life was not a loss, but a divine pruning. I allowed those doors to close because those people could not go where I am taking you. They were part of your history, but they were never meant to be part of your destiny. I want you to take a moment right now and do something for me. Put your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of life that I am still breathing into you. Can you feel it? That beat is a testimony that the betrayal did not kill you. The lies they told, the way they slandered your character, the way they underestimated your value, none of it was enough to stop the plan I have for your life. I saw you in the hospital room when you were alone, wondering if you would ever feel whole again. I saw you looking at your bank account, wondering how you would survive after someone else's greed or negligence left you with nothing. I am the God who restores what the locusts have eaten. I am the one who takes the stones of betrayal thrown at you and turns them into the foundation of your new palace. You are being built into a fortress that no human hand can tear down. The very people who walked away from you will one day have to look up to see where I have placed you. Do not hold on to the bitterness, for bitterness is a chain that keeps you tethered to the past. Release them. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free from their shadow. I am filling the empty spaces in your heart with a love that is incorruptible, a loyalty that is eternal, and a peace that surpasses all human understanding. I know the heaviness that settles upon your shoulders the moment you open your eyes each morning. It feels like an invisible boulder is resting on your chest, making every breath a conscious effort. You wake up already tired, an exhaustion that sleep cannot touch and that coffee cannot cure. I have seen you try to navigate through the thick fog that has clouded your mind lately. You find it hard to focus, hard to remember why you started this journey, and even harder to find the motivation to finish the smallest tasks. This brain fog is not a sign of your weakness, nor is it merely a symptom of the world's chaos. It is the result of carrying the weight of the world on a spirit that was only meant to carry my peace. You have been trying to solve problems that are not yours to solve, and you have been trying to bridge gaps that only my hand can close. Your body is reacting to the spiritual tension of being in a waiting room while your heart is desperate to be at the destination. This pressure you feel, this tightness in your spirit, is the evidence that you are being stretched to hold a greater capacity of glory. Listen to me closely. My precious one, what you are experiencing is not a breakdown, but a breakthrough in disguise. You feel as though you are hitting rock bottom, but I am here to tell you that rock bottom is the most solid foundation upon which I build my greatest cathedrals. This season of heaviness is actually a spiritual training ground. I am preparing your shoulders to carry the weight of the blessing that is coming. A small person cannot handle a big assignment, and a weak character cannot sustain a massive harvest. I am allowing this pressure to refine you, to squeeze out the impurities of doubt and self-reliance, so that only the pure gold of faith remains. You are not falling apart. You are being dismantled so that I can put you back together in a way that is far more powerful. This invisible weight is the gravity of my glory beginning to settle on your life. Do not mistake the resistance for rejection. The greater the pressure, the higher you are about to soar. I am clearing the fog, and I am replacing your fatigue with a supernatural endurance that will shock even you. Do you ever wonder why the wind seems to howl louder around your house than it does for those who do not even seek my face? You have looked at the world and seen people who live in total disregard for what is holy. Yet they seem to sail on smooth waters while you are tossed by wave after wave. I want to pull back the veil and reveal a truth that will change the way you see your struggle. The bad luck you have been experiencing is not random. The sudden setbacks, the unexpected bills, and the chaos that seems to follow your every move are not accidents of fate. They are strategic, targeted strikes. You have been in a season of warfare that you did not even know was being fought. The shadows have been trying to discourage you, to drain your energy, and to make you believe that you are cursed. But I am here to tell you that the enemy only attacks what he fears. The enemy doesn't waste his arrows on those who are sitting still or walking in the same direction as the darkness. If you are experiencing resistance, it is because you are moving towards something monumental. You are a threat to the kingdom of darkness, and these attacks are simply a confirmation of your true power. The enemy knows your potential far better than you do right now. He sees the light that I have deposited deep within your spirit, a light that has the power to shatter generations of darkness. He has heard the decrees I have spoken over your life, and he is terrified of the moment you finally wake up to who you truly are. Every obstacle placed in your path was designed to make you quit just before you reach the finish line. The enemy wants you to focus on the pain so that you lose sight of the promise. But listen to my voice. I am the commander of the armies of heaven, and I have never lost a battle. The very warfare that was meant to destroy you is actually being used by me to sharpen you. I am teaching your hands to war and your fingers to fight. I am making you fireproof by taking you through the heat. Do not be intimidated by the roar of the lion, for I am the Lion of Judah, and I am standing right behind you. The weapons formed against you may exist, but they will never prosper. I have placed an invisible hedge of protection around you that no spiritual force can penetrate without my permission. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a warrior in training. Understand this, my chosen one. The intensity of the battle is an indicator of the value of the treasure you carry. You are not being punished. You are being protected and prepared. When the enemy sees the chosen one mark upon your soul, he unleashes his best shots to distract you from the glory that is about to be revealed. But he has overplayed his hand. For every attack he has launched, I am preparing a double portion of restoration. Every sleepless night, every moment of anxiety caused by these spiritual winds, I am recording it all. I am the God who turns the tables. I am the God who makes the enemy pay sevenfold for what he has tried to steal from you. Stand firm, put on the armor of light, and know that the battle is not yours, it is mine. You are safe in the palm of my hand, and no weapon, no curse, and no scheme of the darkness can ever pluck you from my grip. Your victory is not just possible, it is already written in the heavens. I am releasing a fresh anointing of strength upon you right now. Receive it and watch as the enemy flees from your presence. You have often asked, why me, Lord? Why is my path so much steeper than everyone else's? You see others coasting through life with half the effort while you seem to be climbing a mountain that never ends. You watch people with less integrity receive more recognition, and you wonder if your goodness is actually a weakness. The truth is simple yet profound. It is because you are not like everyone else. You were not created for the ordinary or the mediocre. You have been chosen for a specific mission that requires a specific kind of seasoning. You are a vessel of high honor, and such vessels must undergo a more intense refining process. If your life feels like a constant battle, it is because you carry a light that the darkness cannot ignore. You are a chosen one, a light bearer in a world that has grown comfortable in the shadows. Your suffering is not a mark of rejection, it is the seal of your election. I chose the hardest paths for my strongest soldiers, and I knew before you were even born that you would have the spirit to endure. Listen to my heart as I remind you of a truth I established before time began. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I did not wait for you to do something good to love you, and I did not wait for you to be perfect to choose you. I saw the strength of your spirit before you ever took your first breath. You are not a mistake of nature or a byproduct of your past failures. You are a divine design carefully crafted for this specific moment in history. The reason you have faced more trials is that I am preparing you for a greater weight of glory. I have placed within you a spark of my own divinity, a creative force, and a depth of empathy that others simply do not possess. This is why you feel things more deeply, why you care more intensely, and why you hurt more sharply. You are the salt of the earth, and sometimes the salt must be ground down to be used effectively. The identity of the chosen one is often forged in the fires of isolation. This is why you have felt like an outsider, like you never quite belonged in the social circles or the norms of this world. I was pulling you apart so that I could draw you closer to me. I did not want you to be satisfied with the crumbs of human approval when I have a feast of divine purpose waiting for you. You were created to be a bridge, a healer, and a visionary. But to lead you must first learn to survive the wilderness. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into the small boxes the world has built for you. You were made for the vastness of the heavens. Embrace the uniqueness of your path, even the painful parts, for they are the credentials of your calling. You are mine, and I am yours. The world may see a struggle, but I see a masterpiece in progress. You are moving from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming the victor of your destiny. The whispers that have been echoing in the hallways of your mind are not your own thoughts, my beloved. They are the calculated lies from the pit of despair designed to keep you paralyzed in a version of yourself that no longer exists. I have heard the voice of the accuser telling you that you are not enough, that you have made too many mistakes, and that your flaws have finally disqualified you from my grace. The enemy whispers that your past is too dirty, that the stains of your yesterday can never be washed away, and that you are forever defined by the things you are most ashamed of. I see you shrinking back, believing that you are a failure because things didn't go as planned. But I am here to tell you that the father of lies has no authority over the truth of who I created you to be. Every negative word spoken over you, every label of worthless or unlovable that has been attached to your soul, is being dismantled right now by the power of my word. You are not your mistakes. You are my miracle. Hear my voice drowning out the noise of the pit. It is never too late for the God who created time itself. The enemy tells you the clock has run out, that you are too old, too tired, or too broken to start again. But I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the 1,000th chance. I am the one who breathes life into dry bones and makes rivers flow in the desert. Your past is not a prison. It was a classroom. I have already forgiven what you are still punishing yourself for. I have cast your sins into the depths of the sea, yet you keep diving down to try and retrieve them. Stop looking back at a person I have already redeemed. The stains you see are covered by the blood of my love, and in my eyes you are as radiant as the morning sun. You are not a victim of your history. You are the victor of my mercy. The lies say you are weak, but I say my strength is made perfect in your weakness. This truth is the key that unlocks your cage. And as you feel these chains falling off your spirit, I want you to make a choice to stand with the light. If you can feel the heavy blankets of guilt and shame lifting off your heart in this very moment, do not let this breakthrough be a fleeting thought. Affirm your place in my kingdom. I ask you now to press the like button and subscribe to this channel, not as a mere action, but as a bold declaration that you belong to the family of the chosen ones. By doing this, you are telling the world and the enemy that you no longer believe the lies from the pit. You are signaling that you are ready to walk in the fullness of the identity I have given you. Join this global assembly of light bearers and let this be the digital seal of your spiritual liberation. Your agreement here on earth is being recorded in the scrolls of heaven. Now that the atmosphere has been cleared of the enemy's smoke, I want you to breathe in the fresh air of my promise. You were never meant to carry the weight of your own salvation or the burden of your own perfection. I am the potter and you are the clay. I am not finished with you yet. The cracks in your life are not signs of ruin. They are the places where my light shines through most brightly. The very things the enemy tried to use to disqualify you are the things I will use to uniquely qualify you for the mission ahead. You are being prepared for a weight of glory that far outweighs your current troubles. Stand tall, my precious child, and walk with the confidence of royalty. The lies have lost their power because the truth has walked into the room. You are chosen, you are holy, and you are dearly loved. My child, do not be surprised by the fiery ordeal that has been testing your spirit as if something strange were happening to you. You have felt the heat of the furnace and you have wondered why the flames seem to lick so close to your very soul. But I want you to understand the nature of the refiner. When a goldsmith places the precious metal into the fire, it is not to destroy it, but to remove the dross, the impurities that keep the gold from reflecting the maker's face. You have been in the refiner's fire because you are far too precious to be left in your raw, unrefined state. The heat you feel is the burning away of pride, the melting of fear, and the dissolving of every dependency that is not rooted in me. I am not punishing you. I am purifying you. I am watching the process with the utmost care, never letting the temperature rise a degree higher than what is necessary for your transformation. You are not being consumed. You are being prepared to shine with a brilliance that can only be forged in the intensity of the flame. Every door that has slammed shut in your face was not a sign of my absence, but a manifestation of my fierce protection. You cried out in disappointment when that relationship ended or when that promotion was given to another, but you did not see what I saw. I saw the hidden traps. I saw the ways those paths would have led you away from your true calling and eventually broken your spirit beyond repair. I closed those doors because I have a better room prepared for you. A room that matches the magnitude of the destiny I have written for you. You were not being rejected, you were being redirected. You don't fall apart, you fall into purpose. You don't get lost, you get aligned. Stop mourning the losses and start celebrating the divine shielding that has kept you from settle for less than my best. I am the architect of your life, and I know which structures need to be torn down so that a stronger, more magnificent temple can be built in their place. Real blessings are heavy, my beloved, and they require strong shoulders to carry them. If I gave you the mountaintop victory before you learned how to survive the valley, the weight of the blessing would crush you rather than crown you. This season of waiting and refinement is your construction site. I am building your character, deepening your roots, and strengthening your spiritual muscles. I am getting you prepared to handle the weight of the glory that is coming. Maturity cannot be rushed, and character cannot be bought. They are earned through the endurance of the fire. You are passing the test, and I see your faithfulness even when your heart is heavy. You are showing me that you can be trusted with the much, because you are being faithful in the little moments of your struggle. Remember, suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces a hope that will never put you to shame. The fire is almost over, and when you emerge, you will not even smell of smoke. You will only radiate the pure, refined gold of a spirit that has been made perfect in my love. My beloved, the season of waiting is merging into the season of manifesting. I am not a God who keeps his children in perpetual darkness, and I do not wish for you to walk in uncertainty any longer. I want you to lift your head and sharpen your spiritual senses, for within the next 7 days, I am releasing specific, undeniable evidence that my hand is moving in your favor. This is not a coincidence, and it is not a trick of your imagination. I am going to send you divine breadcrumbs to confirm that the prayers you whispered in the dead of night have not only been heard but are being answered at this very moment. What you have been believing for is already on the way. The wheels of heaven have been set in motion, and the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting from one of stagnation to one of sudden acceleration. You will begin to notice a lightness in your spirit that you haven't felt in years. The heavy cloud that has been hanging over your thoughts will begin to dissipate, replaced by a clarity and a peace that defies human logic. This is the first sign, an internal quietness that tells you the battle is already won. Watch closely, for I will speak to you through the mundane and the miraculous alike. In these coming 7 days, keep your eyes open for repeating patterns and divine synchronicity. You may see the numbers 777 or 7007 appearing in unexpected places on a clock, a receipt, or a passing sign as a signal that my perfect timing is at work and restoration is being doubled. I will prompt a person from your past or a connection you haven't spoken to in months to reach out to you with exactly the word or the opportunity you need. Do not brush these moments off as mere luck. I am orchestrating a series of holy coincidences to show you that I am intimately involved in the details of your life. You might find a resource you thought was lost or receive a small financial blessing that serves as a down payment for the tsunami of abundance I am preparing. These are the whispers of my promise, the evidence that the tide has turned. When you see these signs, do not keep them to yourself, for faith expressed is faith multiplied. I want you to acknowledge my work as it unfolds before your eyes. If you are ready to receive this evidence and you believe that I am moving in your life right now, do not stay silent. I invite you to declare your faith and claim these signs as your own. Type, "I see the signs" or 777 in the comments right now to activate this week of evidence. Your recognition of my hand is what fuels the fire of your faith. And as you testify to the small things, I will begin to release the great things. This is your moment of alignment. The evidence is coming, the shift is happening, and by this time next week you will have a testimony that will shake the foundations of doubt. Believe that what I have started I will surely complete. I have seen the empty chairs at your table and the gaps in your life where laughter and loyalty used to reside. I know the sting of being forgotten by those you once considered your closest allies, and the silence that followed when you needed a voice of support. The betrayal and the isolation you have endured were not just painful. They were a death of sorts, a death of trust, a death of belonging, and a death of shared dreams. But I am the God of the resurrection, and I am breathing new life into the dead places of your social and emotional world. Just as I can raise the spirit, I can resurrect your relationships. I am healing the wounds left by those who walked away, and I am washing away the bitterness that has tried to calcify your heart. I am giving you a heart of flesh for the heart of stone that trauma tried to create. You will not walk through this next season alone, for I am bringing a relational restoration that will cause your soul to sing once again. The loneliness that has been your constant companion is being served an eviction notice today. I am not only healing the old wounds, but I am also preparing a divine table in the presence of your enemies. Those who slandered your name, those who underestimated your worth, and those who celebrated your struggles will be forced to witness your elevation. I am not doing this for revenge, but for my glory and for your vindication. They will see that the one they tried to cast out is the very one I have chosen to crown. I am bringing a shift where those who look down on you will have to look up to see the favor I have poured upon you. Furthermore, I am clearing out the counterfeit connections, the people who were only there for what you could provide, and I am replacing them with divine destiny helpers. These are people who will see your light and not try to blow it out, people who will speak your language of faith and run the race alongside you. I am bringing mentors who will pour into you, partners who will protect your vision, and friends who will love you with the unconditional love I have placed in them. Your life is being rearranged to accommodate a higher level of fellowship. You will no longer have to explain your worth or beg for a seat at tables where you are not valued. I am building a new table for you, surrounded by those who are aligned with your purpose. If you believe that I am bringing the right people into your life and removing the wrong ones for your protection, do not keep this faith hidden in your heart. You must come into agreement with this shift. I invite you now to make a bold declaration of faith. Type "I believe" or 1212 in the comments to signal that you are ready for your divine connections and your relational resurrection. By typing this, you are telling the heavens that you trust my judgment in who stays and who goes. You are opening your arms to receive the love and support that I have ordained for this hour. The season of isolation is officially over, and your season of belonging has begun. My precious child, I am bending down from my throne to touch the very places where you have been hurting. I see the medical reports that have caused your heart to sink, the bottles of medicine on your nightstand, and the nagging chronic pain that you have learned to live with but were never meant to carry. I am the great physician, the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, and I know every cell, every nerve, and every bone in your body. I have seen you struggle to get out of bed, and I have felt the weariness in your limbs that no amount of rest seems to cure. Today I am issuing a divine decree of healing over your physical form. I am speaking to your blood, to your heart, and to your immune system, commanding them to align with the blueprint of perfection I designed for you. I am the God who heals, and there is no sickness too advanced, no diagnosis too grim, and no condition too permanent for my touch. I am reversing the damage that stress and time have done to your vessel. Feel my warmth flowing through you right now from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet as I flush out every toxin and repair every broken strand of your DNA. But my healing is not limited to the flesh alone. I have seen the invisible wounds within your mind, the sharp edges of anxiety that make your heart race for no reason, and the heavy shroud of depression that tries to convince you that the sun will never shine again. I am reaching into the depths of your subconscious to pull out the roots of trauma and the seeds of fear that were planted there long ago. I am decreeing peace over your nervous system. I am quieting the storms of your mind and replacing the brain fog with a divine clarity that will allow you to see your future with hope. You are not crazy, and you are not broken beyond repair. You are simply a warrior who has been in the heat of battle for too long without a rest. I am your Sabbath. I am your sanctuary. I am breathing my own spirit into your lungs, and as you breathe out, let go of the panic and the sorrow. You are being restored to a state of wholeness that you haven't known since childhood. Your strength is being renewed like the eagles, and you will run and not grow weary. This healing is a gift of my love, and it is being activated the moment these words reach your ears. I want you to claim this restoration, for your faith is the bridge that brings the power of heaven into the reality of earth. If you feel the vibration of my healing power moving in your body or your mind right now, do not let this miracle pass by without an act of agreement. This is a holy moment of transformation. I invite you to seal this decree of health and peace in your life. Type "I am healed" or 111 in the comments to signal that you receive this supernatural touch. By doing this, you are telling your body and your mind that they must submit to my word. Your health is returning, your energy is surging, and the shadow of illness is fleeing before my light. This is your day of liberation from the spirit of infirmity. Look at your hands, my child, and realize that the spirit inhabiting them 40 days from now will be entirely new. You are entering a sacred window of time, a 40-day metamorphosis that will leave you unrecognizable to those who knew you in your season of sorrow. Just as I kept Noah safe during the 40 days of rain, and just as I prepared my son in the wilderness for 40 days before his glory was revealed, I am now placing you in a divine cocoon of transformation. This is not a gradual change that will take years. It is an accelerated spiritual shift. In these next 40 days, I am stripping away the victim skin you have worn for so long, the skin of not enough, the skin of forgotten, and the skin of wounded. I am replacing it with a radiant, resilient spirit that no longer fears the storm because it has become the storm. You will find that habits which have plagued you for decades will suddenly lose their grip. The cravings for the things that used to numb your pain will vanish, replaced by a hunger for my presence and a thirst for your true purpose. You are not just being repaired, you are being reborn. As you move through this 40-day journey, the world around you will begin to notice a change that they cannot quite put into words. They will see a new authority in your stride and a light in your eyes that was not there before. This is because you are finally emerging from the hidden season. For a long time, I have kept you in the shadows, not to hide you, but to protect you while I strengthened your inner life. You cannot handle the weight of the blessing I am about to pour out if your character is not strong enough to support it. But now the construction is complete. The waiting room was not a prison, it was a workshop. By the 40th day, your internal character will perfectly match the external blessing you have been praying for. When your spirit aligns with my will in this way, the doors of opportunity do not just open, they are ripped off their hinges. You will look back at the person you are today and feel a deep sense of gratitude for the fire, for you will realize that without the heat, the gold would never have been refined. I want you to mark this moment as the beginning of your countdown. This is your divine day 1. Do not let the enemy tell you that you are stuck or that your best days are behind you. Your greatest chapters are being written starting right now. I am giving you a new name, a new song, and a new destination. The old you is being laid to rest so that the chosen one can fully arise. Every struggle you have faced was simply the labor pains required to birth this version of yourself. In 40 days, you will stand on the mountaintop of your testimony and look down at the valley you once feared, realizing it was just a training ground. You are becoming the answer to the prayers of those around you. You are becoming a vessel of my light that cannot be hidden. Trust the process, trust my timing, and above all, trust that I am doing a work in you that is beyond your wildest imagination. The metamorphosis has begun and the wings of your destiny are ready to unfold. Now, my beloved child, we have reached the moment of the great activation. This is where your faith meets my fire, where your surrender meets my sovereignty. I want you to take a deep breath and quiet your spirit. This is not a mere recitation of words. This is a binding covenant between the Creator and the created. If you are able, speak these words aloud with the authority I have given you, or echo them in the sacred silence of your heart. Heavenly Father, I stand before you as your chosen one. I acknowledge that this encounter is not an accident, but a divine appointment. I renounce every lie of the enemy that has kept me in bondage to fear, lack, and shame. I release the weight of my past and step into the light of your presence. I believe that my season of weeping is officially over and my season of supernatural harvest has begun. I receive your healing in my body, your peace in my mind, and your abundance in my storehouse. I am no longer a slave to my circumstances, for I am a child of the Most High God. I activate my miracle today, and I walk forward in the confidence that you have already gone before me to make every crooked path straight. As you declare this, feel the shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The heavens are recording your agreement, and the old contract you had with sorrow is being torn up right now. I declare over you by the authority of my own word that every tongue that has risen against you in judgment is being silenced this very second. Every generational curse of poverty, illness, or abandonment that was sent to derail your destiny is being turned into a double portion blessing. I command the spirit of heaviness to lift from your shoulders, and I release the anointing of the overcomer upon your life. You will no longer have to fight for crumbs. You will feast at the table of my divine provision. I speak to your body, be whole. I speak to your mind, be still. I speak to your bank account, overflow. I am making you fireproof, and the flames of the trials you have endured will now serve as a lighthouse to guide others out of the darkness. You are being promoted in the spiritual realm, and the physical world will soon have no choice but to witness the evidence of my favor. This is your activation. Walk out of this moment as a different person, for the old things have passed away, and behold, I am making all things new. You are protected by the blood, sealed by my spirit, and destined for a glory that the world cannot contain. No power in heaven or on earth can stop the momentum of what I have set in motion today. This is the final seal of the prophecy I have spoken over your life. To lock this blessing into your reality and to ensure that the enemy cannot steal the seed that has been planted in your heart today, you must commit an act of faith. Seal this word now and forever so it may take root and flourish. I invite you to type, "I activate my miracle," or "Amen" in the comments below. Let your words be the physical anchor that holds your miracle in place. Do not let this moment fade into a distant memory without this final declaration. And as you step into this new reality, remember that you belong to a royal priesthood. Join this global family of light bearers by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel now. This is how you stay connected to the daily flow of my living word and maintain the frequency of heaven in your home. be a vessel of my grace, not just a reservoir. Share this message with 3 people who are currently in their own wilderness, for when you reach out to help others' dreams come to pass, I will ensure your own dream is fulfilled with a glory you never thought possible. You are leaving this specific encounter, but you are never ever leaving my presence. The journey we have started today is profound, and your spirit is now vibrating with the frequency of your true calling. But I must tell you, my precious one, this is only the beginning of our walk together. There is a deeper mystery yet to be revealed, a hidden truth about the second seal that I will disclose to you in our very next communication. This seal is the key to sustaining the massive breakthrough you have just received, and you will need its wisdom for the new territory you are about to occupy. Keep your spirit alert and your heart open, for the next message is coming sooner than you can imagine. Go now in my peace, walk in my power, and live every second as the victor I have already declared you to be. It is done. It is finished. It is sealed in the heavens. But remember, our conversation is just getting started. I am with you always.